Thank you, Chair Alonso Leon. So my comments are not specific to the -8s, but I think they're important as we are talking about them, because this is a conversation. And your comments on Tuesday about really wanting to hear the voices of students and parents, I feel the same. And so I took about 3 minutes and just kind of wrote down my thoughts and just wanted to share those.
Of course.
Thank you. I heard much during the presentation of this Senate bill on Tuesday about care and concern for local control. A form of local control that I believe is being overlooked here is the ultimate control of the voter and who they elect to represent them on their local school boards. I heard it said on Tuesday that there is a limit to those voters' and parents' desires, but I believe and have been contacted by so many in my district that they, the voters, are the ones who know what is the best fit for their district on their school boards. There have been a couple situations in Oregon mentioned during the presentations of this Senate bill and the House bill that passed out of our committee last week as a catalyst for why we need these legislative actions. Colleagues, one of these situations that we are talking around happened in my district, in my community. The parents and voters of this school district were looking at collapsed testing scores where 50% of students in 11th grade could pass the English proficiency test and only 25% were meeting the math standard test. Under this backdrop and the events of 2020, parents and community in this school district voted for school board members in May of 2021 that changed the political makeup of the board. I'm sorry it has to be perceived as political at all, as a school board position is meant to be nonpartisan. Nonetheless, the school board had a change in leadership, and decisions that they made over the course of the summer and fall drew much attention, including the no-cause termination of their superintendent last fall. Following actions taken by the board that were perceived as controversial last summer, there was a recall election. This recall called for the removal of 2 school board members who voted in support of this supposed controversial decision of summer 2021. The termination of this district superintendent soon became a key issue for the proponents of the recall. Colleagues, I tell you this background because in an unprecedented turnout for a January special election, the voters of this district elected to keep these 2 school board members. Parents reaffirmed their vote of confidence in the school board and decisions that the school board had made. The voters of this school district knew what fit their community best. That included support for the board's decision to terminate the contract of the superintendent. Parents voted not once, but twice to support the makeup of their school board. They voted because it is their community and they know it best. This legislation is an insult to their rights as voters to choose their own representation of their school board and the decisions the board makes on behalf of their voters. To quote one of the many emails I have received in opposition to this bill, parents elect board leaders and board decisions need to be protected from state leadership that is out of step with local communities. And the current local authority given to the boards should remain in place so that each community can address the local needs in which they govern. Finally, colleagues, I would add that we are seeing in unexpected places like San Francisco, the reality that parents are demanding that their voices be heard by their elected school boards. I think it is unwise for us to implement legislation that removes the voices of parents and voters from the process of choosing, retaining, and terminating, if necessary, their school district superintendent. This should not be the role of the state, but should remain in the hands of the local school boards where it belongs. So thank you for letting me take that time to kind of collect my thoughts and express my feelings on this legislation.